happier, better by ourselves, less lonely, more apart things, eating healthy, stronger and healthy. Yesterday, I had chicken teriyaki for dinner, so I ate very healthy, less stress. I exercised yesterday, so I feel a lot better, happier, better about yourselves. So watching funny videos is a good way to, funny shows is a good way to feel better about yourself. Taking medication, you should ask questions about, let me move this. Any medications, including what they are and what they'll do. So if your doctor put you on medications, you can ask questions about your medications. You guys know that? If your medications have bad side effects, you can ask your doctor to put you on different medications. You guys know that? So any questions about what else you can do to feel better? We're gonna move on. Yes.
This is not a question, but this is from my own life experience. But the thing is that a lot with stigmas, the truth is that just because I do take medication, just to be honest with everyone, it doesn't mean I need to feel bad, or nobody has to feel bad they take medicine, because it's actually a doctor's order. So what's kind of weird was that at one point in my life, I didn't take medication because other people call me weird. And then I got really sick, so that proves that I do need medicine. So if you take medicine, don't feel bad because if other people judge you, don't let them bother you. That's the thing.
Yes, a lot of people take meds. I think medications, I think half of all Americans take some type of medication for something.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Thank you for saying that, Alex. I think it's important for people to not be shamed for doing something that improves the quality of their life. You know, no one should make you feel bad if you're doing something that makes you feel better.
Exactly.
I want to say too that if a person thinks they might want to use or take some antidepressants, I think that it's important for doctors to tell people that might be thinking that being tired could be a side effect of that in the beginning, and it doesn't necessarily mean that medicine isn't working. So that there are side effects, and maybe to just be aware of that before you take it.
Exactly.
And also it can take like 2 to 6 weeks for some of the medicines to kick in and do their work, right?
That's true. Okay, next slide, please, Amani. Reasons I may need help with my mental health. Here are some reasons. Too much stress caused by finances, relationships, or transportation issues. Difficult life experiences, not knowing how to cope with feelings, family health, mental health issues, where a loved one dies or leaves, medical reasons, feeling lonely, and history of trauma. Do anyone know what trauma is? Do anyone know what trauma is?
Like PTSD.
Exactly. Like if you go in the military, you see a lot of fighting, that causes trauma.
Or you've witnessed something else violent, or
Yes,
you get hurt yourself, and you know.
exactly. So a lot of people suffer through bullying. Some people might suffer through domestic violence. Some people might suffer seeing their loved ones or people being attacked and hurt. So that's trauma. That's trauma.
Trauma is the mental health issues that can happen when something that shouldn't have happened to you.
Now, how do you turn this up? It's not loud enough.
Okay. Okay. Is everything okay, Imani? Imani?
Oh, I just said that I think something else about trauma is that it's the mental health issues that can happen when something that shouldn't have happened to you happened to you.
Exactly, exactly. So a lot of people need help with mental health issues. So almost anybody can have mental health issues, anybody. It's very prevalent. 20–30% of the population has some type of mental health issue. So 1 out of 5 people you see have mental health issues. Next slide, please, Amani. Some examples of mental health diagnosis: post-traumatic stress disorder, bipolar disorder, anxiety, obsessive compulsive disorder, depression. Want to know more about a mental health diagnosis? Ask your doctor or mental health expert for a website on a diagnosis. Ask your doctor or mental health expert for more information. And by the way, it's a high prevalence of mental health issues for people who receive registered services. I think it's like 30–40% people who receive registered services have some type of mental health issues. You guys know that?
Where did you get that statistic?
Where I got that statistic from? I got it from like the regional center.
Yeah, where did you find, that's interesting to me. So
Yeah.
Where'd you find that?
So I got it from like the mental health people at my regional center.
Was it on your website?
It was a long time ago, but not anymore.
Okay.
But there's a high incidence of a lot of people who see services that have mental health issues. So any questions about mental health diagnosis?
Oh, there is something I want to ask Wesley. So I do know that some people do have like medical conditions, but if someone is having a bad day, does that mean just like a regular person having a bad day? Does that mean that sometimes in real life people just have bad times, but they're not like mentally ill?
Everybody have bad days. There's some days that you blow up, but the difference between having a mental health issue and not having a mental health issue is the time. If it keeps on happening and happening, you have a mental health issue. But if it happens like once or for a little time, you don't have a mental health issue. So that's
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
You're welcome. Next slide, please. What do I do in a mental health emergency? One example of a mental health let me read this. It's when my feelings are so strong, I'm physically hurting myself or another person. This type is called a mental health emergency. So what's this called in California? We have a mental health emergency. It's 3 numbers. Do anyone know?
I've heard of 415 and 5150, something like that.
Okay, a 5150 is when they put you in a hole for 3 days. A 5250 is when they put you in a hole for 14 days. A 5350 is when they put you in a hole for 30 days.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering.
And usually people who have mental health issues, they end up going to the police. So that's a fact. 1 out of 4 calls, I heard 1 out of 4 calls from the police had to do something with mental health issues. So a lot of police work is done by for people with mental health issues. So this type of emergency is called mental health crisis. What do I do in a mental health crisis? Call the 24/7 crisis helpline at 1-800-273-8255. That's a suicide hotline. And call 911 for emergencies. So if you get to the point that you want to hurt somebody or you want to hurt yourself, you call 911. Who do I contact to listen to my recorder and review PowerPoint? So Monty, can you ask that question, please? Someone ask a question in chat.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and put my email in the chat for you.
Okay. When someone calls you, when you call someone, we'll offer advice such as telling you to go to a hospital, or ambulance might come and take it to a hospital. So a lot of people have mental health emergencies. When they do that, you go to the hospital. Next slide, please. I'm gonna ask you guys, what can you do to make yourself feel better?
Not feel embarrassed about having a condition.
Exactly. Anyone else know what you can do to make yourself feel better?
I think just being compassionate to others and, you know, putting out that good energy in the world and hoping that it will come back to you.
Exactly. Another thing I do, I go see my friend when things get rough. Sometimes your friends and family can help you out when things are really rough. They can help you out. Don't feel like you can do everything on your own. Sometimes we need help. It goes to me too. I talk to my friends when things get rough. The best thing, what can be done to end mental health stigma? The best way to end the stigma is to talk about mental health, recognize it's normal to have difficulties with your mental health, knowing it's always okay to seek mental health help whenever you need it. So May is Mental Health Month, and now it's June, so end the stigma. Next slide, please. I'm going to talk about different types of treatment you have. How many people heard of counseling before? How many people heard counseling? Okay. Talking treatment is also called counseling. It's talking to a psychologist, clinical social worker, or a mental health provider. This is a safe place to talk. The things you talk about are not shared with anyone unless you are in danger of planning to hurt yourself or someone else. I'm gonna ask you guys, what are ways to get active and eat healthy?
I do green tea.
Exactly. What else you do?
Not a lot of fats, fried foods, salt, more veggies and plant-based foods.
Avoiding fast food like the plague. That's what I do in my own life.
Exactly. Many people feel better with regular exercise and good nutrition. They help by feeling more powerful and control, less angry, less stressed, more calm, less down, more up, better about yourself, less lonely, and more part things. Steps to increase physical activity. Start off with a short, gentle exercise. So when you start exercising, you do it short and gentle. Build up slowly to become more active. To eat more healthy, eat more fruits and veggies. Eat less sugary and fatty foods. So I'm gonna ask you guys, what type of support you need to make changes in your life? Do anyone know? What type of support you need to make changes in your life?
Sorry, repeat the question. What?
Okay, what type of support do you need to make changes in your life?
I would say at least asking for support because it's not worth it to try to be nice to people who won't support you for who you are. That's I had to learn that from my own life because you could just like talk to counselors, you can reach out to your meaningful friends, not junk friends on Facebook, and just try to surround yourself with positive people who actually like you for who you really are.
Exactly. Okay, I want to say solving problems can take time. Some things are easy to change. Some things are hard to change. I'm gonna ask you guys, what type of medication people take for mental health issues? So what type of medications are there? One's Prozac. You guys heard that before?
Antidepressants and anti-anxiety medications, anti-bipolar medications, schizophrenic medication, what are they called?
And there's one medication one guys be careful about. There's this thing called lithium. And I know someone who took lithium, they had problems with the kidneys. So you gotta be really careful about what type of meds you take. And be careful with lithium because that's taken for bipolar depression. And what happened, a lot of people took lithium, end up with kidney disease. You guys know
Well,
that?
we still prescribe that, and I think it's important to follow the doctor, you know, trust a trusted doctor on that.
Yeah, exactly. Not everyone needs medication to feel better. Your doctor or psychiatrist might say is a good idea for you. They should help find other things to try as well. You should ask a lot of questions about medications. What they're there for? Why should I try them? What do they do? What they do? What could be wrong? How long do I have to take them? Are there other ways to feel better? So you heard those questions about medications? I'm gonna ask you guys another question. Do you know anyone who have problems with their mental health? Do anyone know anyone with problems with mental health?
Definitely, yes.
Yeah, me too. I know people too. Like I said earlier, I had a friend, I was a good friend with her, and her depression got so deep, she stopped being my friend. So it hurts. It hurt me. After knowing someone, I think she might have took her own life, but I never asked. She
My
was-
best friend actually has a condition, but I just still respect them for who he is.
Yeah. Okay, intellectual and developmental disabilities are not the same as mental health problems. All people need support to have good mental health, and for each person, that is different. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you guys, what do you do if someone has a mental health emergency?
Try to calm the person, but don't say calm down, because if a person is having an emergency and you say calm down, that could actually make things worse.
Exactly, exactly.
Be with them and listen to them and then encourage them to get help and not be judgmental of them, not be judging them,
Yes,
have compassion.
exactly. I got one more question for you guys. What is an example of stigma?
Any form of prejudice or hatred in general, actually.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yes. There is a lot of stigma when it comes to mental health conditions. People struggling with mental health problems are often thought of negatively. The best way to end the stigma is to talk about mental health. It's completely normal to have difficulty with your mental health, and it's always okay to seek help when you need it. So I'm gonna ask you guys, what do you learn from this training today?
I learned about people who receive regional center services having trouble with their mental health diagnoses. I didn't know, I mean, I was aware, but I didn't know the stat.
Yeah. Okay, so things we learned about what is mental health. I'm aware of changes in my feelings and emotions. Reach out for support to get better. Try new things to help me get well again. Ask a lot of questions about medications. Know that everyone has questions and concerns with their mental health at any time. Knowing what to do in emergency. Knowing how to end mental health stigma. So any final questions about mental health?
No, but thank you as always, Wesley.
Oh, you're welcome. So hope you guys have a good 4th of July. Thank you for coming. And we'll do more of the training probably July and August. Thank you very
Okay,
much.
see ya.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Have a good
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Wesley. It was good
Welcome.
training.
You're welcome.
Bye, everyone.
Hey,
Bye.